A play fake. Young goes deep middle. He's got Jerry Rice. Touchdown 49ers!
Welcome to another edition of the 49ers Family Podcast, where my grandpa and I break down the game each week and talk about his experiences and stories since he became a fan in 1949. My name is Josh, and I'm here with my grandpa Mike, and we are a 49ers family. Grandpa, we are 2-0.
I know, I love it. And both on the road.
And
So
both
we
on the
play,
road.
both on the road. So we're 2-0 and coming home, and we're going to wear our throwback whites on
Yes,
Sunday.
I love those.
So you have to, I don't know if you remember last year when we played Arizona, it was really hot. It was over 100. And the 49ers went to the league to see if they could wear white uniforms during that game to keep them cooler. And they were denied and, reminded that you have to ask before the season starts if you want to change your uniform. So this year they anticipated it would be hot when we played Arizona. And so they asked before the season started to wear the white throwbacks.
Smart.
So we'll be wearing all white, and Arizona will be wearing all red.
Yeah. And
that'll be different.
And it looks to be a warm one too. So it's going to pay off, hopefully.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Indian summer in the Bay Area.
Yeah, exactly.
As they say.
Well, let's get into it. Let's obviously recap the Saints game first, and then we'll get into some Cardinals prep. But
Okay.
as we talked about last week, it was looking like Mac Jones was probably going to start, and he sure did. And Grandpa, he looked the part. He looked like, honestly, he looked like a starting caliber quarterback for us, and had quite the stat line: 26 for 39, that went for 279, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Did take 3 sacks, including a strip sack. Can't really say that's completely on him, although he did hold onto the ball a little bit long. But all things considered, I mean, for a backup quarterback, that's a great stat line.
Oh my goodness, yes. Yeah, I was nervous because we haven't had great production when we played our backups over the last many years, and even thinking back to last year when Purdy missed 2 games. Brandon Allen and Joshua Dobbs played, and they posted QBRs of 33.2 and 23.4 respectively, and the 49ers lost both games by a combined 51 points. So I was nervous going into this one, and then Mac Jones, when he started, his first 4 passes were incomplete, and I mean, they weren't even close. And I'm going, oh no. But then he completed his next 7, and he led the team, to 24 first downs and 344 offensive yards. And keep in mind, he did this without Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle and Robinson and even, Debo from last year. So he was really doing this with the second string wide receivers, if you will. I probably shouldn't say that, but I mean, he really produced. And like you said, he had great stats. 66% of his passes were complete, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And he was really calm, and that's a loud place. The Superdome in New Orleans. So yeah, great outing. And then just a couple of other things. So Ben Barsh got hurt in the first quarter, and Connor Colby came in and replaced him, and he really played well. He had 0 pressures and 38 blocking snaps. And Barsh is probably going to be out for 3 or 4 weeks. He has a high ankle sprain. So we could have the second coming of Dominic Cooney with Connor Colby. And Colby's out of Iowa. We got him in the 7th round. We have now a collection of folks from Iowa. We have a connection to Iowa with Kittle and Purdy and now Colby. So anyway, and then finally, just on the game, well, a couple of things, I guess. On defense, we're playing 8 new starters. 3 are rookies. And we're tied for 7th in scoring defense. So we're just allowing 17 points a game. Last year, we allowed 26 points a game. And we have the 3rd youngest defense in the NFL, which is really good. So Robert Saleh is really the difference. The players love him. His motto is all gas, no brakes. And it's just an example of what, the difference a coach can make. Last year, Sorensen blitzed about 20% of the time. This year, Saleh's blitzing 30% of the time. And when he was with us prior and during his first tenure, he hardly blitzed at all. So it's new. And the rookies are playing well. Alfred Collins only played 9 snaps against Seattle. He played 24 against New Orleans and really played very well. He's just a mountain of a man. And then when Mikael Williams is on the field, the opponent averages only a positive rush 26% of the time. So 1 out of every 4 rushes do they gain anything when he's out there. And when he's not out there, they have a positive gain 66% of the time. So the rookies are making a difference.
Wow.
And so and they'll just get better as the year goes on. So I'm really encouraged. It's the one area we really need to improve is on defense. Last year we were 29th, and this year we need to finish, in the top 10 if we're going to do anything and go anywhere.
Agreed.
So and then one other note, I don't know if you saw this or not, but Jake Moody signed with the Bears.
I did. I'm surprised by that.
Yeah. I was too. I wonder if Chicago, watches any tape.
Seriously.
Yeah. I thought, nobody's going to really pick him up, but the Bears have.
Yeah. I mean, to be clear, they signed him to their practice squad, but they did have to release somebody from their practice squad. So now they have 2 kickers under contract, which is not very common.
No, that isn't. And I'm not sure who Chicago's kicker is even. But to be shopping for a kicker, they're probably hurting.
Yeah, it's their
but I was surprised.
Yeah, their current kicker is Cairo Santos.
Okay.
So it's obviously the move has sparked some discussions about him and making kind of a kicking competition to potentially upgrade the position, but very, peculiar. He's 1 for 2 on the year, it looks like. So
okay.
not much to go off of. I don't know how he performed in the other games, but yeah, he and his 1 miss was beyond 50 yards. So he made 1 inside 50 and missed 1 outside of 50, and then has converted all of his extra points. So I have no idea. I don't know what they're shooting for, but
their thinking is, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but we play Chicago late in the season, and wouldn't it be ironic if Moody is their kicker?
And I believe it's in Santa Clara too, which would be even.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's at home. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
he'll get if that happens, but yeah, we'll wait and see.
Uh-huh. Anyways, some other looking at the stats from this game against the Saints. Well, I guess let's talk about really quick. Let's talk about the flow of the game and kind of how it went, as well as the stats. But from a team stat standpoint, the things that I like to point out are total plays very even, total yards
Yeah,
pretty even. We had 37 more yards than they did, but similar yards per play. I mean, honestly, as much as we talk about Mac Jones, Spencer Rattler also did a pretty good job on their side, running their
he did. He
offense,
did.
picking up
Yeah,
that timely fourth down. That one was such a bummer. Um, and yeah, I mean, all things considered, pretty even game, which I think you could see in the flow of the game that really we were, um, we had the lead for I believe all the game, most of the game, if not all of the game. But New Orleans just
yeah,
hung in there, hung in there, hung in there, hung in there, and even we had a chance to go seal it in the fourth quarter with a few minutes remaining, and we went into really I think threw it on like three straight downs. That we were gunning for that first down. They were loading the box. And we wanted that first down bad,
hmm
and it was so close. Juwan almost had one, and we had to give the ball back. And then the hero of the game, just like Nick Bosa was in the first game, we had another
yep,
D-line hero in Bryce Huff coming off the edge, way outside on the edge, and just,
yeah,
hit the shoulder, got around him, forced fumble. Niners recover. It was fourth. No, actually, Niners didn't recover. It was fourth down. Fourth down, turnover on downs, and that's all she wrote. But quite the two games back to back where it comes down to some timely stops on defense.
right. And we were losing those games last year.
Yep.
Um, Bryce Huff, his sack of Rustler took 2.4 seconds. It's the fastest sack of the year.
Wow.
He is he is lightning quick. Number 47, Bruce Huff.
Yeah, and he came
Yeah,
from the Jets with Salah, right?
correct. So Sala brought our special teams coach and a number of people, really. And supposedly, when he agreed to come to the Niners, he had a deal with Shanahan that, he'd bring some of these people. So he got to cherry pick, you know, some good folks,
Yeah.
having coached them for a couple of years. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe Bryce Huff showed a lot of promise, but then kind of had a bad year, or kind of maybe got injured. I can't remember, but enough that the Jets didn't sign him to a second deal, and so
Right.
he signed a free
He
agent.
also he also played for Philly, and he
Oh, he
had a
did.
good year there.
Oh, I didn't know
And
that.
then the Jets, signed him, and he didn't do well. Um, he doesn't look real big, but boy, he's really quick, and that's what he's known for. So there it was on display.
Yeah,
Yeah,
interesting.
the defense has saved us 2 weeks in a row, and that's good because that's what we didn't have a year ago.
Right.
We're now the third youngest defense in the league.
I saw that, and I
Yeah,
love that honestly. That's amazing because in theory, these guys should just get more and more experienced. So yeah, that's really cool. Really.
right. Yeah, we're the third. Let's see, how do you say this? The third oldest team in the league.
Hmm.
Yeah, the third oldest, but on defense, we're the third youngest.
Wow.
And
That's
that's okay. It's when you look at it, our average age is 28 years, and Green Bay is the youngest team in the league. Their average age is 26. It's just 2 years.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, so Ricky Pearsall has made 8 catches this year. All have gone for first downs.
Wow, that's a good stat.
Yeah. So, and the Niners are the top offense efficiency team in the league on 3rd and 4th downs. So, that's also a good stat.
Great stat.
Yeah, 3rd and 4th downs were the best in football.
Yeah, that's huge. The money downs. Some of the individual performances you mentioned, Ricky Pearsall, he did have 4 receptions for 56 yards. Juwan, that was questionable for the game with his injury, he ended up playing and played a big role. He had a huge 42-yard touchdown, beautiful pass from Mac Jones. He threw it before Juwan was even open. He threw it to where he was supposed to be, and Juwan was right there and just had the shot out of the end zone, 42 yards. That was amazing. But yeah, Juwan ended up going for 5 receptions for 89 yards, leading the team, and then Christian McCaffrey as our just everything guy. 6 receptions.
Warhorse, yeah.
Yeah, seriously, 6 receptions for 52 yards, and he also had 13 carries for 55. So over 100 yards, all purpose. And I think also definitely worth noting. We talked about it last week. George Kittle, he's out for I think they put him on IR, so at least 4 weeks. And so Jake Tonjes and Luke Farrell, they combined for 6 receptions for 46 yards. Not too shabby for some backup tight ends, and they were filling in for Kyle Juszczyk that got a concussion. So
he did.
Those guys, Tonjes and Farrell, are being relied upon, and I didn't look at the run blocking score, but I'm pleased with how they're doing in the passing game for sure.
Yeah, and Shanahan's calling their number, so he has confidence in them. Yeah, where we miss Kittle is blocking. He is just the best blocking tight end in football. He's just a complete player.
Yes.
And Juszczyk too is a great blocker. So when he went out, but we won the game and we did well. Mac Jones was spectacular.
Totally. Yeah, it was an awesome game. I mean, as we had noted last week, the Saints aren't necessarily the best team in football. They're definitely in a rebuild. But they still have great players. They still have Chris Olave. They still have even Alvin Kamara is on the other side of kind of the hill, if you will, from a career standpoint. But he still did damage on us. 21 carries for 99 yards. They were sticking in it. Their defense is good with Demario Davis, and they still have Cam Jordan on the line. But
Cam Jordan from Cal, yeah.
Yeah. Let's I guess last thing, and then let's do players of the game, game balls. Is Grandpa, what were your thoughts about Eddie Piñeiro?
Well, I studied him before the game, and he has great stats. He's the 4th most accurate field goal kicker in the history of the NFL, and I loved that. And then he comes in for his first extra point and misses it, and I went, I don't believe this. We're just jinxed. But after that, he kicked 2 field goals and he looked confident and he knows what to do. I heard an interview from him earlier in the week, and he said, I'm here. I know I have to make kicks or I'm out of here, so I'm going to make kicks. So anyway, I'm surprised that he was still available. That's what I don't get. I mean, a kicker that is that accurate, why he hadn't signed with somebody. He said he wanted to wait for the right, you know, spot to kick for a winner. He could have gone to Atlanta. I don't know what other offers he had, but yeah, the first extra point he missed, and I think he'll be fine. And we did need to move Jake Moody. I mean, he has just, this has gone on for 3 years, so time for some new blood.
For sure. Yeah. I thought he did a good job. What's interesting to note is, yes, while he is the fourth most accurate kicker of all time, if you look though at his extra point, kicks, which don't factor most accurate kicker of all time, kind of subpar from that perspective. So I think it's more of a fluke than anything. He'll get it dialed in. It barely missed. He honestly kicked it like straight instead of just like 2 feet, 3 feet to the side, and it would have been in. Uh, I'm not too worried about it. I still think he's in a better headspace than Jake Moody was. So
I'm glad we made the change. And an extra point now, Josh, is a 33-yard kick.
Right.
It's it used to be a gimme. They've moved it back 15 yards. So while 33 yards is still a short kick, it's a little more difficult than it used to be.
For sure. All right. So, Grandpa, game ball. Who do you give your game ball to for this one?
Well, let's see. Last week I gave my game ball to a backup, and so I'm going to continue that theme. And my game ball is going to go to Mac Jones. He was, as we mentioned a couple of times, 26 of 39 for 279 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a quarterback rating of 113.2. To come off the bench and in a tough road environment and play that well, he gets my game ball, Mac Jones.
Awesome. I agree with that one. We didn't mention him yet because defensive players don't have necessarily the stats, but my guy from BYU, Fred Warner, had one heck of a game. Earned himself NFC Defensive Player of the Week. 11 total tackles, 7 solo, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 forced fumble / recovered fumble. He recovered it himself as well with kind of a helmet catch kind of motion as he's rolling on the ground. But just, we've talked about Saleh and the difference, he's making for this defense. You can see it in the way that Fred Warner is playing too, though. He's playing very confidently, and he's leading this team on the field. He was everywhere. Just had a great game. And I just love that guy. And also, I'll also give a shout out too. I have to shout out 2 more kind of honorable mentions, both on the defensive side. D Winters also killing it right now. Just looking so dominant, fast, strong. Some of those hits he had during the game, you could hear the ooh, from the crowd because he just comes in like a freaking, battery.
Freight train.
Yeah, freight train. And Nick Bosa also. Nick Bosa's having a really good year. And had a timely sack at the end of the game, right before the Bryce Huff strip sack on the 4th down. But that was huge. And then also Nick Bosa has that OE kind of defensive end position. He is second on the team in tackles this game with 9 total tackles, 3 solo. So I'm happy for him because I want to see more production from Nick. And I'm hoping with a kind of a re-engineered defensive line, we continue to see more and more production rather than people just double teaming him and
Well, That's been the deal. I mean, he's been double teamed his whole career, and you got to get by two guys. But I'm surprised, Josh, that you didn't mention your guy, Fred Warner from BYU, is set 2 49er records, team records. And that's forced fumbles, which was held by Patrick Willis, and passes defensed. So he's tied one of the records and passed Patrick Willis on the other. So Fred Warner is now setting team records, and he has a long way to go.
Oh yeah.
And he'll end up in Canton. But I mean, yeah, what a player! What a player!
Yeah.
He has 60 passes defended already in his career, which is the most in 49er history.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And then forced fumbles too. I think it's 64. And he's tied Patrick Willis. So yeah, he's in good company.
That's amazing. He is so good.
Yeah. And he'll grow those records where I don't know if he'll ever be beaten.
Right. Agreed. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's switch gears now and talk about the next game on the schedule. Niners are going home, the home opener in week 3, taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals also find themselves at 2-0. The game opened with the Cardinals actually being favored by 1.5, and now it's Niners by 2.5. So the line has moved. The ESPN matchup predictor, though, still has the Cardinals as a slight favorite with a 52% chance of winning versus San Francisco's 48. So that's kind of interesting. But all things considered, pretty even matchup. Obviously, I think a little bit of a nod toward us for home field advantage. Should be a warm one. I think I saw 84 degrees at kickoff in Santa Clara, which is, it's pretty warm even at 84. So kickoff is at 1:25 Pacific. So 1:30 that afternoon slot on Fox. Hopefully you guys get it. I do not here in Utah, but Grandpa does down in Southern California. So this is obviously a divisional game against the Cardinals. Cardinals thus far this season, they played the Saints in their first game. They beat them 20-13, and then just this last Sunday they had their home opener, beating the Panthers 27-22, 5-point win over the Panthers. So not the strongest of record, if you will, because they played the Saints and the Panthers, and it find themselves at 2-0. But still, we know the Cardinals are kind of always a thorn in our side, and they have a quarterback that runs around like crazy. They have some good playmakers and Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison Jr. And Budda Baker on the defensive side. So always a tough matchup, and it counts as extra because it's a divisional game. But I think the Niners are going to be pretty juiced up playing in front of the faithful, though. So, Grandpa, what do you know about this Cardinals team? What kind of worries you about them? Just what do you think about the matchup in general?
Well, the most important games of the year, in my view, are always the divisional games. If you want to win the division, you need to win these 6 games, the 2 against Arizona, the 2 against the Rams, and the 2 against Seattle. So we beat Seattle. We're 1-0 in the division, and these games really act as if it was 2, because if you win, the other guy loses, and you really separate. So very important game. And Kyler Murray last year ran wild against us. He had 542 all-purpose yards in the 2 games and 6 touchdowns. We just have trouble containing this guy, so that'll be a priority for Robert Saleh, and Arizona has not played well in their first two games. They've won them both, but like you said, it was against the Saints and Carolina. And for whatever reason, another guy we always have trouble with is James Conner, their running back, and it takes 4 or 5 guys to tackle him. I mean, he just runs through us. This will be a tough game. Arizona worries me. They beat us twice last year. And looking at their, it's early, over their overall stats for 2 weeks. On defense, their weakness is they have a great defensive line. So their defensive line is strong. They're going to put pressure on whoever our quarterback is. Their linebackers are very questionable, and their defensive backs are suspect as well. So we will attack the linebackers and the defensive backs. They're 26th in the league right now. They give up 255 passing yards a game. So they're at the bottom defending the pass. Against the run, they're 6th. They only allow 78 yards, and that's their defensive line. So they'll be hard to run against. It'll be easier to pass on them. Offensively, Arizona is kind of middle of the pack. They haven't really done a lot against 2 teams that are weaker teams. And let's see, last year they outscored us 71-47. I mean, they killed us. And they've got James Conner. He's off to a slow start. He only has 73 yards in the first 2 games. Usually he has 200.
Yeah.
And even, their entire rushing attack, they had one 52-yard run by Trey Benson. And if you take that away, I mean, they really haven't run the ball well at all. So that'll be interesting. They're going to try and run, and we must, stop the run and contain Murray, which we hardly have ever done. This will be a tough game, and a very, very important division game. So anyway, Arizona is always kind of thought of as, a stepchild. Seattle gets a lot of talk, and the Rams get a lot of talk. Very few people talk about Arizona, but the last couple of years, they've really improved. And where they have improved is on the offensive and defensive line. So their coach, he was the defensive coordinator at Philly for a couple of years, and that's what he's been focusing on is the offensive and defensive line, and they're both good. So it'll be a tough one. So we gotta be ready, and we will be.
Yeah. No, totally. I agree with all those points. Definitely can't overlook this Cardinals team, even though we should win. Vegas, once again, actually had them as the favorite when the line opened, and now it's moved in the Niners' direction. I think something that may move it even more in our direction, and we won't know the status of this probably until game time, if I had to guess. But we talked a lot about Mac Jones. The reason why he played is because Brock Purdy went down with what can be considered a turf toe, but a toe injury in the first game that he had. But apparently he's been responding super well to the physical therapy, even so much that on Wednesday and Thursday he was listed as a limited participant in practice. Which does that mean that he's going to play on Sunday? Not necessarily, but it does also means he's not necessarily ruled out either. reporters asked Kyle Shanahan what to expect if there was a chance, and he said, I mean, there's a chance. He also could be potentially the third emergency QB at a minimum. So if he does play, and I really hope they don't rush him back. Like I obviously, I mean, I was an athlete too. You want to play, but I am a little bit worried of him getting back in a little bit too soon and injuring it again. I'd rather it heal a little bit more before it gets back. But obviously, the doctors and Brock are gonna discuss that and make the right call. But I think that's definitely something to watch getting closer to game time on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, it's encouraging that he is practicing, even if it is limited. I know he wants to play, and I agree with you, Josh. We don't want to, have him come back and make it worse and miss more time. But the Niners they always play it safe. I always feel they hold people out longer than probably we should have, but I'm not a doctor, so what do I know? But it's like Kittle, he's got a hamstring and bingo, he's on IR for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we play it safe with injuries. That's just been our history. So I don't think he'll play unless, that a doctor can tell Shanahan that he won't hurt it further. So we will see. I think he will play. That's my guess.
You do? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I do. I mean, he's practicing. If it was at all jeopardizing, his future, he wouldn't be practicing at all. If he's practicing with thoughts of playing, so and he doesn't really need the practice. I mean, they've been playing since July, practicing since July. So the fact that he is taking snaps and throwing, I don't know what his discomfort level is. And the other thing is that puzzles me is he finished the Seattle game. This happened in the second quarter, and he looked fine. I had no idea that he was injured until the next day. I think he'll play.
Awesome. I mean, I hope he plays. If I had to bet, I don't think he plays. We'll see.
Okay.
Shall see.
Yeah.
I mean, even it's today. We're recording this on Friday afternoon. Usually the report is coming out pretty soon. Actually, let me look it up really quick. Yeah, we'll see. These guys are, and I know Brock is going to do everything he can to play. And like I said, he's going to go into this game probably listed as questionable, is my guess. And then, he's listed as questionable today. Also limited participant. So, I'm not surprised there that he's not a full participant, but he practiced 3 straight days, listed as questionable for the game. Yeah, and then also to note, definitely worth noting, Kyle Juszczyk was a full participant today, and meaning he's most likely cleared of concussion protocol. He should be good to go. The question really is going to be around Jauan Jennings, that mentioned that he had his injury last week, was questionable for the game, played and had a great game for us. As we all know, our wide receiver depth is not very deep. So he racked up another injury this week. So he has now both an ankle and a shoulder injury. He did not practice all week. Is listed as questionable for the game, but did not practice this week. So something to watch for sure.
There was a play in the game where he came limping out, and I did not expect him to return. He did return. They retaped him, and he came back in. So he's very durable. He's tough. So I think he'll play too.
Oh boy. Also, I just saw this. Connor Colby that we were just talking about, Iowa, seventh round pick.
Yeah.
He was a limited participant today in practice with a groin injury. So that's not
No,
good.
but
Um,
no, that isn't good. It could be long lasting.
yeah. Groins are
Oh
not.
boy, injuries are, yeah, they kill you.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of your injury report. So Grandpa, what do you think? What's your score prediction for this one? Last week we were both correct, obviously having the Niners win. I went for a lower scoring matchup, and it actually was I think it hit the over. But what do you think this one's going to be?
I thought last week, what did your score was 24-21?
I thought it was lower. I thought
What
that was
did
in
you
the
say?
teens. I need to write these things
Oh,
down.
okay. I thought I didn't write anything down either. I thought you said 24-21 and it was 26-21. I went, Josh, you were right on.
Oh,
But anyway, I'm not sure. So this week, let's see. I say the Niners will win 24-20.
okay. 24-20. I
And
go ahead.
no, I just was going to say your words of wisdom are
I'm thinking.
okay. I hear it. I hear you thinking.
Yeah, I honestly, I feel like it's also going to be in the low 20s. Just to be different, though, I'm going to say uh, if the Panthers can put up 22 points on the Cardinals, I think we'll get one more touchdown than them. So I'm going to say 29-24. That's
Okay.
that's mine.
Okay.
I'll note them
I'll
down
take
this
it.
time. Scores. Josh, 29-24. And then Grandpa, you said 24-20 or 24-21?
24-20.
24-20.
Win by 4.
Okay. Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I just want to win. I don't care what the score is.
Exactly. I don't care either. Just give me the W.
Be
Let's,
nice to go 3-0 and have 2 division wins.
yeah.
The Rams play at Philly, so here's the difference in the schedule. They play a real tough team, and later on we play, the Giants and the Bears and Cleveland are the 3 teams that are different in our schedules.
Yep.
So the Rams are at Philly this week, and Philly is the world champions at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
undefeated. Yeah.
They're looking
And
good.
Philly's a tough place to play. They boo Santa Claus.
Yeah. They are brutal.
Yeah.
Grandpa, really quick, Adam Schefter actually just tweeted Kyle Shanahan said it's highly unlikely Brock Purdy will start Sunday, which means it's shaping up as a second straight start for Mac Jones. So
Okay.
here we go.
There we go.
And then even past, really quick, last but not least, just looking out on the schedule, not to look past the
Mhm.
Cardinals, but just what's coming down the schedule is we play at home again next the following Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Go on the road then to the Rams on I believe
Thursday night.
Thursday night. Yep, Thursday night football, and then have the mini bye. But we will then go to Tampa and play the Buccaneers. So Cardinals and then Jags, Rams, Bucks.
Yeah. Okay, one at a time.
One at a time, one at a time. Would love to be 4-0 before we face the Rams, though. That would be great.
Yeah.
All right, right
Yeah.
on.
Okay.
All right, that'll do it for another episode of 49ers Family. Until next time, go Niners.
Go Niners.